locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. Have a collision with purpose, 'cause you know that you're worth it, and your dream is worth capturing. If I'm not living on purpose, then none of it is worth it. My assignment is uplifting souls for the King, souls for the King, souls for the King. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose.
Hello everyone, and welcome this evening to In the Spotlight. This is the home of Unfiltered Conversation, where real talk is what we do. My name is none other than Donna Thompson.
I'm Dr. Laxley Stephenson, and together we are your moderators. And as you can see, we have a packed screen tonight. Who do we have with us tonight? We have Dr. Cecelia, we have Gary McCook, we have Augusta Foster, we have Renee Rogers. Wow. And so we're going to give each of our guest panelists, is what we'll call them tonight, an opportunity to say a quick word. And we'll start with Mr. McCook.
Good night, and good to see you all again. It seemed like it was just last night I saw you guys. Decked out and everything. I saw Dr. Cecelia there in our, I tell you. Everybody was looking good. Everybody's looking good. It was a good night. It was a good night. I was talking to Dr. Lax and said that there are folks that I invited to come, and they were surprised. And it's good that they're surprised, because a lot of times people, you're doing something or starting something, and they say, "Oh, what's going on?" And then they come and they're pleasantly surprised. So it was a good first touch. The decorations was off the chain. Didn't expect anything like that, Dr. Lax. And that black and white theme really.
Talk to Dr. Donna about that.
Dr. Donna. So whoever did the decor, it was well done. The reception was just great. I think we all had a great time. I learned a lot. One of the topics was about pain. There's someone who spoke about pain with purpose. And I never really thought that, from a painful experience, you can really find your purpose. But that's when, let's say, you hit rock bottom, and then you rebuild or you come up from that. So it was it was entertaining. A normal book signing is not, that's not a normal book signing. That was an we have to give you another name, Dr. Lax, entertainment book signing or what, but it was a good program. Getting the kids from the school involved and having them also hear from adults and young adults. I think is it Xavier? Yeah, and Mr. Young Augusta there. Oh, should I is a salute? Should I salute, sir?
No.
Salute. But because it was good hearing your experience. You see people in life and not sure exactly who they are. And I learned a lot. We have been on this forum before. I never know much about you, but that was very interesting. The compilation of things you have done and where you are. And that little miss who was there giving her thing, your daughter. Kudos to her. But it was a good experience for me. Kudos to you, Dr. Lax. I know this has taken a while to get together, but with God, all things are possible. And you nailed it. You nailed it. It was interesting. I had my nice 5-minute speech done, and it was cut down to 2. I started, tearing the papers, tearing it down. I said, okay, X this out. So I had to come down, and then a friend of mine actually timed it and said, hey, you did it 1 minute and 37 seconds. I said, man, I could have done some more. But I think it was concise enough to actually get the point over. And one of the things I didn't mention is that in my life, I think purpose can have, you can have different purposes in your life as you evolve. Mm-hmm. And I think I have evolved. My purpose is always centered around human beings, though. That's what I realized. I was a life insurance representative, then a real estate broker, now doing GIFs. So it's always people trying to enhance people and put a smile, for the better word, on someone's face, or have them healthy. The personal care home, there I call it my ministry, because it's giving back to society, taking care of these older folks who would normally be in a bigger facility with not much love and care. As the word personal care signifies, it's personal care, because our ratio at my place is 2 to 12, while the state ratio is 1 caregiver to 15 residents or so. So the smaller the environment like we have, you give that personal care. So always people oriented, and just looking forward to what the rest of the year has, with your book, and next year, looking forward to next year again. I'm sure you're planning for next year. I gotta run, so let me just put in a little plug. I did mention about the Jamaica International Independence Foreign Song Competition, and that we're accepting entries right now. A lot of very interesting songs coming in. The deadline is April 30th. So anyone here who I heard Dr. Cecelia can sing, and Renee can sing also. So I'm looking forward to your entries by April 30th. It's jiifsc.com. Between April 30th and May 15th, the judges will look at the songs and choose a top 12. And then between the 16th of May and June 30th, we have fans from around the world who will participate in voting, so they can help propel their artists to the top 7, which will be announced on July 1st. And then July 27th, I'm sure I'm going to see all of you there, and everybody who was there last night will be there.
I'll be there.
So I'm looking forward to that. It's our 4th year. Dr. Lax and I were there from the get-go. Those nice 1 a.m., 2 a.m. on the, and I had to leave my wife in one room and go in another room and say, I'll see you tomorrow morning, honey, because we were just on the phone and trying to get it done, just like we did for this event. So again, kudos to you, Doc. Kudos to all the folks who participated. I look at all of us as participants to a common cause. Dr. Cecelia, Augusta, Xavier, Renee, Donna, it's all to a common cause. So I think we all collided on Saturday night for a purpose.
Mm-hmm. We sure did. A couple of things, Gary, that you talk about paint a purpose. And one thing I want to say. So what this book is really about, it was a case study, and the population of the study was 70 plus individuals, yourself included, because you came on and I interviewed you. So it was a case study, and 3 themes emerged from the study, and one was paint to purpose, one was purpose by design, and one was scratching into purpose. So that's what those categories are all about. And so there was some, scientific, there's a thing going on there. It was not just making it up, things. We asked questions, we had research questions, and we came up with some answers. But that's what this was all about.
Yeah.
So it's not made up. There's some.
It's true, Dr. Lax, and I mean, just to add something else, when they talk about the paint to purpose, the reason why that one sort of stuck out at me, I remember Dr. Lax, you and I were brokers, and 2008 came, and the market went down, real estate market went down, and I had this facility, I had this house that I bought on 1.3 acres, which was my real estate office, because I didn't want a traditional office in a strip mall. And when 2008 came, the option was to sell it, rent it, or lose it. And it was painful. And that is what caused me to start a personal care home, because I had this place. So I kind of say that was a pain. When I say lose it, I said, my gosh, no, I remember having my real estate sign up outside, and one day I'm driving by, going to it, and the sign disappeared, and I called the city and said, where's my sign? They said, oh, we took it away because it is blocking the right of access. And I said, look at all the Keller Williams sign and all the other signs down the road. You didn't do anything like that, but you took mine. But guess what? Just today, I decided to do a personal care home. So you can keep that sign wherever you put it, and just keep it there. So that in itself kind of ties into pain with purpose. We all were going through financial challenges at that time. And from that pain of real estate going down, the purpose of the personal care home was born. So, excuse me, Andrew?
Great example. Great example. And let me say, Donna will say what she needs to say tonight, but Donna organized this event and made it something spectacular. When I walked in my first, but I got even anyway. So, but when I walked into that room, into that hallway, and I was blown away when I saw it. The first thing I saw was that thing she had in the middle. I was like, tears coming. She kept it a secret too. And I said at that point, I got something for you. I have a secret as well. And I landed this, but not just on her, also on Dr. Cecelia. So it was an awesome night from my perspective. But I know, Gary, I know you got to go, but we appreciate you coming on and sharing your thoughts, this did for you. And you shared with me that you had invited some folks on, and they were like, wow.
Yep. They were saying, hey, next year we got to get it out. We got to get it out. So again, good first, kudos to you, good first go around. We know we can always tweak here and tweak there, and you'll have that conversation. And we're going to do it. It's all a community thing for us, Dr. Lax, making sure that whatever you have in mind, we're there in support. So we're here fully for you, sir.
But the one thing I want everyone to understand, this is not an annual thing. Purpose is a day thing. So even though we had an event, it's not about the event. It's about what we're doing daily, every single day. So those individuals that's waiting for next year, it's the wrong move.
Every day.
Live today, live your purpose each and every day. So yeah, we come together and we celebrate something and do it in a big way, but it's not about that. It's about what we're doing day in, day out, each and every single day. So thanks, Gary. I know you got to run. We have big things happening in April. That's the deadline sometime in April to get your stuff in, your songs in. But in July, we're going to do it big.
And before I go, you can look at let me move and you can see my thing. Our logo is loving you from afar. There you go.
Nice.
Loving you from afar. This looks like Dr. Cecelia there, right? Yeah.
Yep, that's me right there.
Yeah, and over here is that looks like Augusta over here. So we're doing things. But again, thanks, and then we talk later, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you, Gary.
All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
you. And again, tonight, we're bringing on participants, collaborators, attendees on the chat and this platform just to share their experience, what they experience. So I'm going to turn this back to Donna, our key organizer and CFO, and one of the reasons why we're here.
Oh, wow. What can I possibly say? I am happy that we had a very successful event. A lot of preparation, a lot of work that went behind it, but it was just more than a book signing for us. It was really the launch of the company, A Collision with Purpose, and the work that we're doing and the work we intend to continue doing. So I am very happy and pleased that it was successful, of course. And and I'm proud of Dr. Locks. I'm proud of Dr. Stephenson. I'm very happy for him that it was a very successful event. And I'm happy that you're over there.
Yeah. I want to say something about success and not achieving, right? They say that when things are working, you shouldn't be surprised. Because when it's working, it's because of what you're doing, things that you're doing. And I know that we did some serious work, year and a half worth of serious work into this process, into this program. We interviewed over 72 individuals in 1 year from all across the globe, all across the world, from Bulgaria, Jamaica, Atlanta, France, other places, So, and we put a lot of time. We spent a lot of time with this book, talking to people, fine-tuning it, and the same thing about when things are not working. It's also because you should not be surprised when things are not working in your life. It's because you're not doing what you should be doing. So there are no alibis for failure, and there are no explanation for success. Right? They're none. So, Dr. Cecelia, I know you're not going to be with us all night. I wish you could stay a little bit longer. You're always rushing. Even at the brunch, you was in a hurry.
No. I had something that I have a few things that I have to get done tonight, and I didn't have this on my schedule, so I wouldn't miss the opportunity to be here to share. So I said, okay, yes, I'll come on, but I cannot stay past 8 o'clock. But I'm here. I'm here. So say that again.
Talk to us. What was it? What was it like? What did?
Oh my goodness! First of all, Donna, kudos to you. I know you put so much work in. And the good thing is that Donna has the personality traits and the skills to pull something like this off. I mean, everything was, to say it was the first time we were doing this, everything went smoothly. I think everything collided for the event to be great. And everything was working, everything worked well. The people were flexible. Everything just worked out exactly how it should work out. So that was good. The logistics parts of it, that was good. The people, the speakers, from the 5-year-old girl all the way to the pastors and the people in between, people with their stories, who they didn't even share. Most people didn't even get a chance to share the full length of stories and their speeches, but what they shared alone was impactful. I walked away that night with two things in mind. One was wherein I forgot her name. I know she's a PhD and a professor, and she said, be courageous, right? She said, be courageous, ask for what you want out of life and go for it. And I walked away with that. The other thing I walked away with was, oh my goodness, look at Laxley. He's now an author. He now has all these different things under his belt by just doing it. Don't sit back and wait for everything to be right. Don't sit back and wait for everything to be perfect. Just get out there, do it, and make it happen. Just make it happen. So I've left there feeling very empowered. I came home. I'm like, you know what? That's it. Nothing that I'm sitting on. I'm ready. I'm ready to move. I'm not sitting back on anything. I'm not waiting on anything. And I'm getting ready to launch my own podcast to deal with the subject matter of what I have all this passion about and dealing with what I do for work. Oh, and I did not get to mention, I was taken off guard with my wonderful award that I forgot to mention about the mentorship program, the Global Humanity Network Mentorship Matters program. And so I didn't get to talk about it, but I do want for us to get it back into the spotlight, because we are going to be kicking that off. Well, we kicked it off before, but we need to ramp it up a little bit. So we're getting ready to do that. So I want for us to speak to our friends and family and let them know that there are a lot of children out there who need us, and we need mentors. We need people to make the commitment to serve. It's 1 hour a week. That's all it takes. And we can make a big difference in children's lives. So I want us to focus on keep doing what we're doing. We are making a difference in people's lives. Every one of us on here, everyone who's listening, we all have a purpose, and we can live a purposeful life. And when we live a life with purpose, we live a happier, healthier life. So I'm looking forward to everyone joining us on this journey.
All right. Thank you, Doc. So, Doc, do you have to go, or are you going to stay a minute?
I can stay until 3 more minutes.
All right, hang on, because I have our editor-in-chief, Miss Lynn Braxton. She edited the book and put a lot of time in. And I also have our MC. He's here as well. So as you can see tonight, we are just getting together with the crew, with the theme, everybody that was on the show. So hey, Will, how you doing, man?
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, doing pretty good. Just got home, rushed to try and be. Laxley said I better come in for about 5 minutes, he said, but dinner's on the table, so I'm hungry. But I'm going to tough it out.
All right. We have Lynn here as well. Lynn,
good.
Our editor-in-chief. Lynn, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Lynn Braxton, and I'm the CEO and founder of Divine Editing and Proofreading Services. And it was such an honor and pleasure to be the editor for Collision with Purpose.
Wow. And we have had many meetings and conversations going through this book, haven't we? And it was always wonderful stuff. I tell you, it was such an inspiration. Every time I had the opportunity to have conversations with you about this book, I walk away just learning so much.
Well,
Lynn is a teacher, by the way. she's a former professor, so you're going to learn when you talk to a professor, right? And that's exactly what she did. She taught us well, didn't she, Donna?
She sure did.
Well, thank you. I really enjoyed the whole process. There was a lot of questions and answers and just going back and forth. But the real pleasure came Saturday night at the event, because to be able to put faces with names, it was really something when people were being introduced. Oh yes, I know her story, or I know his story. And that meant so much, to think back to the many days and hours that we put in terms of the co-editing, the questions that I had to ask you, Dr. Laxley and Donna. It was really, really remarkable to be able to take, the people's stories that they shared in your interviews and be able to turn that into print and make it meaningful and also heartfelt. So I really enjoyed the whole process.
Wow. Appreciate you. So let's go to our MC, because I know dinner is on the table and we don't want to get cold. We don't want his food to get cold. So,
well, for me, I just want to say it was a lovely evening for me. I enjoyed it, but to see how purpose can be, manifested in so many different ways, and how it comes about, and everybody's story is different. Everybody's lives are different. I mean, I have my own type of pain right now going through with my dad. He's on the way out. He's been through a lot in the last maybe 3-4 months, well, 2.5-3 years, but he's now an amputee, and lots of things are happening in the nursing home. And basically they've said it's only a matter of time. And then on the flip side, I've got, my friend who I wanted to go see tonight, because he's only 48 years old and he's transitioning too. And so it's a lot going on. So it's making me reflect inwardly now. What am I doing with the rest of my, whatever God has for me to do? Because I was thinking, there is the legacy portion of my father that I would like to continue in a way that all the things that he has instilled in me as a person and who I am today is a real big part of who my dad is. Okay. The humor that I have, that's all my father. Right. And then the ability to be speaky spokey, that's my mother. So, and to act right, right? She was prim and proper and grew up in a house full of educators and English teachers and all this other stuff. So, we had a real good balance. Growing up as children. So, like I was saying, I have a brother who's a DJ, another brother who sings, a brother who builds, and a brother who does everything in entertainment on the back end of things. So we all have some kind of influence with our parents. But the legacy part of it is I need to incorporate that in my purpose. That's one part. And then the other part is, am I really doing, because where I am, if I took stock of what I'm doing today, it's not the best fit for me. I've been a square peg in a round hole, but providing for my family, right? So that trumps right now being miserable in the square peg in the round hole, right? But I got 3 adult children. I got one coming out the house, and I got another one coming out. He's got 4 more years, but I think I can start taking some bigger steps right now in faith and start to work on me and where my wheelhouse is. So it was kind of very enlightening. It made me think. It was very thought-provoking. It was a time to really sit down and start. Well, not sit down, because everybody keeps saying, "Hey man, you got potential. You do this, you do." For years you hear the word potential and all this other stuff. Now it's time to exercise it. Okay? Because I speak. I don't just MC. I do speaking as well. And I'm, doing some research in that area too. So just trying to figure it all out here in the next, I would say this year, 24, working on it in 24. After my dad's journey, right now, that's all my focus right now. So after that kind of transpires and shifts, we'll start, working on that 100%. So, but just to say, I had a good time. It was good. It was good.
Yeah. One thing I want to say, and I know other people have other things, other questions they may want to ask you. I have something I will share with you. I will offer you as a gift in the pursuit of your purpose. You did such an awesome job for us that I want to share this with you. When we meet, I will give you a copy of Unearthing You.
Okay.
I think that is exactly what you need right now.
All
Everything
right.
that you just said points to that. So I'll make sure that when I see you, probably sometime this week, you should have it immediately.
Yeah, I travel on Thursdays, so I'm going away for a week.
Yeah.
So if we can hook up before that, then I can read it on the trip.
Yeah, well, you can't read it. You won't be able to read it.
Oh,
but he can.
You have to work it.
He can
it's
work.
a workbook. It's a workbook.
It's a workbook, but you can take it with you.
What I like to do with workbooks is read the whole thing first and then reread it and do the workbook.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. You do what you want.
Yeah.
But I'll have it for you before you leave. And,
all right. Sounds good.
And Dr. Cecelia can tell you about that, a little bit about that. But,
all right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will see you guys. It was so good seeing everyone Saturday night. And I know I'll see most of you in the near future. But I have to run.
Thanks for joining us, Dr. Cecelia.
You are welcome.
Good one, Doc.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye-bye. See you later. And my mom's name is Cecile.
Okay.
They're all connected one way or the other.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
And Dr. Laxley, can I just say a comment to Will, if that's okay?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay. I just want to tell you that my husband and I truly enjoyed you emceeing the other night.
Thank you.
It was entertaining, educational. I mean, just the gamut. And I can see that that's a gift. Everyone can't do that.
Oh, yeah.
So I see with Dr. Laxley, wanting you to, to read Unearthing You, just so that you can start focusing on what you were created to do. But you were just amazing the other night.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
We met Will last year at our event, the Festival Song Competition, that Lynn, you must attend that one this year. And he just knocked that ball way out the park. And he nailed it. And I knew this time around that for our event, he's the man. And so life is so interesting, right? Because when the event was initially planned for, he couldn't do it. He wouldn't be able to do it because he had other engagements. And guess what? The event got pushed into March, and here he is. So when I called him up, suddenly he's available. Okay, he's in demand. People need him. People utilize his talents, his skills to make their event better. Because that's who he is. He can transform you or whatever it is you're doing. And that's exactly what he did. He added value to our purpose. Yes, he did.
Can I say something on
Certainly
on that? Will, it was a pleasure working with you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I thank you so much for every time that I had to run to you.
Yeah.
And say, Will, switch this, do this, do this, do that.
I'm used to it.
I know you are, but your spirit, your everything, you were just so, accommodating and willing. So it just I really, really enjoyed working with you. I absolutely did. And you made my job even that much easier.
Good.
You were just open, and we just worked well together. I thought, you're like, okay, do this here, move this here, do this, do that. And I mean, no one would have known the little things that we were doing behind the scenes.
like taking a 3-paragraph bio and reading it into 1-2 sentences.
Right, exactly.
I impressed myself.
exactly. But yeah,
Yeah.
I absolutely enjoyed working with you, and I
Okay.
definitely look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you. Same here.
He's on. He's already scheduled for. We're going to do it in February though, for Black History Month. We're going to stay in February because that's our preferred time frame.
Okay.
You know, we're celebrating who we are, right?
Mhm.
Right.
It's all about purpose. So, Will, I'll give you the date. We're going to lock you in.
All right. We'll talk some more, guys. I appreciate everything. I'm going to go make sure the boss don't get mad with me
All right.
anymore. So
Okay.
Thank you.
it
Thanks
was a
for joining
pleasure.
us.
Thanks again. Appreciate you
Good
guys.
night.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Bye.
So Augusta, I know you're on for the long haul. Clearly you are. So I know, Lynn, how much longer can you give us?
I can give you about 5 more minutes.
All right. So you're
On
in.
my next meeting.
You're in the house. So let's hear from Augusta.
Yeah, I'll make it short, sweet, and concise. It was amazing to take part in this event from the ground level, from seeing you and Donna and hearing about the meetings and the entire planning and plotting of it, to the setup, to the takedown. And this is I believe, probably in all of my years of attending events, whether that be as an attendee, as a participant. My mother worked heavily in a lot of events for the city and state of California. This might be the most successful inaugural event I've seen. And I've seen dinners for mayors, setups for senators, people running for office, congressmen. For an inaugural event, this was darn good. This was pretty solid. An amazing turnout, sound quality, video quality. You know, it was, again, I've attended a lot of events. This was very good, Doc. Like, I was super proud to even be included in the number of people to collaborate. Just want to salute everybody who took part and invested their time, their money, and their effort. As you could see, if you haven't had a chance to watch the replay, it was totally worth it. Like, everything that you did, it came out to something amazing and exemplary that will be remembered for the annals of time and for years. That this was the foundation, the beginning of something that later on built to something much greater. So yeah, if you haven't had a chance to watch the replay, by all means, please go and watch the replay. If you haven't gone to the website to purchase this book here, by all means, please also go and purchase the book. But yeah, it was amazing. I thank you guys for even allowing me to, just a kid from South Central LA, to tell his story and talk about fatherhood and triumph and, purpose by design. Just extremely grateful to have been able to be a part of the event.
The thing that really did it for me in your story was when your friend looked at you and said, "They let you into the police? You, of all people?
Yeah.
You, Pop?"
And like, I had a great conversation out front with, I believe her name was Mrs. Edwards, the young lady who's the resource and police officer for Gwinnett Public Schools. And even she said, she was like, your story was very much likened to mine. And I said, those are the times where you get a chance to collide with people who you don't even realize your upbringings, your backgrounds, some of the paths you had that could be extremely similar. I would be remiss if I did not give a huge shout out to the young people at Restore and Relief. The young folk who were awarded the scholarships. I made sure to post them today on all of my social media. And I said something that very much holds true. The people say, "Oh, the future is in good hands. The future is in good hands." And seeing those people and listening to their teacher, their administrator, and her tell the story of how, seeing the first day, 75 kids amped and excited to do community service. And it's not even that the future is just in good hands. The future is in hands of people who are truly invested and earnestly wanting to see a great outcome. So salute to those kids, because being that young and having that much passion and commitment to want to see the change, and actually deciding that at 15, 16, 17, to wanting to be that change, it almost brought a tear to my eye. I was close.
All right. Well, I know you got to go, Augusta. So I want to give the mic back to Lynn. And I'll tell you, Shiloh High School, Dr. Gore, Agnew, it was amazing.
Yeah.
They were so accommodating. Their work, even we changed the days, they made it easy for us. I think, and again, it's because of who we are and what we're about, purpose. And normally they would not even let you, advertise your event on their social media platform. They made exception. They made exceptions for us to do it because of our work. And so, but I know Lynn will have to leave us soon, so let's give the mic back to Lynn.
And I wanted to comment to Augusta. I know when I read your story, for me, it was very heartfelt. And I know that it'll give kids hope. No matter how old that person is, whether it's middle school to adulthood, it will give someone hope to read your story and know, wow, if he did this, I can do it. And so thank you for sharing your story. I know it's not always easy for people to really speak their truth and let people in the way that you did, but thank you for doing that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Doc. Miss Donna, I'm going to jump backstage and I believe there's maybe another surprise guest for you guys.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, Augusta.
More than welcome. Y'all have a great evening.
You too.
While we're switching chairs over there, let's get back to Lynn, because I want to hear more from Lynn, because Lynn, probably you are the person that know as much as we know about these stories, because you've really gone deep into them. What is probably the thing that hit you the most striking thing for you from editing these stories?
There are so many that just, as I read through them, that I just felt so drawn in. And when you are an avid reader, and if the stories are written the way that we want them to be, then it pulls those readers in. And then we create that page turner where they constantly turn the pages to get to the next story, and then the next, and get all the way through the book. And I felt that this book does just that, because people were so open, and basically raw with telling their stories and telling, what they were thinking, feeling. And I think about like Susanna's story about her child, and, the information that they found out when she was an infant and what the expectations were. It just, and to see her the other night, I didn't get a chance to talk to her, but to be able to see her, it was just such a wonderful, wonderful moment for me. And, as well as the other stories, I think about Amari Harris and her story as a beauty queen. And I did get the opportunity to talk to her. Hi, Tremaine. And so just being able to talk with her, I spent a little bit of time with Jawan as well. And to finally get to see Donna in person instead of always virtually. Those things really mean a lot. But the stories that people shared, I thought they were truly amazing. I know that all the readers will pick up this book and just be amazed. And I'm not just saying that, but as not just an editor, but like I said, I love reading. So I'm an avid reader, and being able to go through each person's story, that they shared, and you knew that they were pouring out of their hearts, and that takes courage to do that, to open those wounds and let people in and see, what you've gone through. So I really appreciated the opportunity to edit the book and reading through everyone's stories, all 18 of them. And it was a journey, but a wonderful journey it was. So, and hi, Lexi. So that's what I wanted to share, Dr. Laxley. You are just such a phenomenal person. So let me just put that out there first. With trying to help people to find their purpose in life. And it makes you think about the journey that you're on. And I know for me, and we'll talk another time about it, but the Lord took me through a shift of my purpose. Still, the same purpose, but a different way of looking at, what he had created me to be. And so I'm just so thankful that through this journey that he made me open up to expanding the journey that he had set me on. Yes, this is your purpose, but now help other people tell their stories. And so, as that educator, as that editor, being able to help people now in a different vein, outside of the school district, outside of the university level, but to help people tell their stories. And that's what I know he created me to do. And I love it. And I hope to just keep doing this. So thank you for, the ability to work with you and with Donna so that we could get this manuscript just right. So thank you all.
I know Donna will have something to say, but let me say, I learned so much from you. You're so nice, so pleasant, so caring, so accommodating. I regrettably I didn't get a chance to see you at the event, to meet you in person, but we're gonna make up for that.
Yes, we will.
You're amazing. That's amazing. And if I ever write a book again, and I know I will, it will be you. It will be you.
Thank you. I
No
appreciate that.
No other editor. All right, so I know you will have to run. So let Donna say. I know Donna will have something to say to you.
Oh, I just want to say, Lynn, because of our affiliation with Victorious U Press, but this was just a very, it was a different experience for me working with you so closely with the book. And I just want to tell you, thank you so much for the hard work that you put into this project, because we know the depths of how hard you had to work. And I just really appreciate you being available to literally sit there with us and just go through story by story and read and making sure that it flows right and everything. And, just your patience it's remarkable. And we really appreciate it. And I appreciate you.
Thank you both. Well, take care, everyone. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Can we take a quick break and come back?
Sure.
Let's take a quick break and come back on.
Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. Have a collision with purpose, 'cause you know that you're worth it, and your dream is worth capturing. If I'm not living on purpose, then none of it is worth it. My assignment is up.
All right, we're back. And I'll tell you a little bit about that song. So I business where I have a record label. I manage entertainers, right? So the young lady singing, she wrote this song, Ty Swayze. She signed at my record label, and amazing singer. So I reached out to her and said, Ty, I need you to do a song, our song. And in no time, she got this done. What a beautiful song. What an amazing song. And so that's what you're listening to that song now. So I know Imari got some things she's doing. So let's hear from Imari real quick. And Imari, can you share your experience? What did you take away from the event?
I really liked it because I hadn't seen the book before Saturday night. I hadn't read anybody's stories or got to hear from anybody else that was a part of the project. So it was really nice to see that I wasn't alone. I was in the portion called Pain to Purpose. So the losing my aunt and then inspiring me to become an attorney and seeing that there were other people that went through something that was traumatic to them, that went through something that really caused them mental distress, and turning it into something positive and turning it into something that can change other people's lives was really inspiring to me, because there are often times that I feel like, why am I still doing this? It feels like I'm doing the right thing and still getting nowhere. It feels like I'm talking to a brick wall at times. So seeing that there were other people going through the exact same thing, but reaching for different goals was really inspiring to me.
Wow. Yeah. Just jump in and let's have a conversation with Imara before she goes. Feel free to ask her questions and talk to her. Tremaine, Donna, so Lex, any questions for Imari before she?
Let's say, Imari, what did you think about the whole experience at the event, besides being able to meet the other collaborators of the book?
I was really happy so many people showed up. I didn't know what to expect, but I loved to see even people who weren't a part of the project physically, like their stories weren't physically in the book, being able to hear from people like the honorees that introduced the people getting awards, and other people in the community just coming out to support, because I know how hard it is to put something together and put your all into it and feel like nobody is appreciative of it. So I loved seeing people from the community and people who weren't necessarily like directly involved with the project being so supportive towards what Dr. Stephenson put together.
Awesome.
Yeah, the support was amazing. And I'll tell you this much. So many more friends, family, and strangers bought tickets, but they couldn't make it because they were away, living in other states. So the numbers are much bigger than what you saw in the auditorium, the support. There's so many. And as far as we into Kenya, and I asked the question, why is this thing working the way it is? And I was told it was the message. The message. It's all about the message. So it makes sense. And next year, we plan to do it again, and the next year, and the next year. And each year we know it will even become more impactful, not bigger, but impactful. Because it's not the bigness we're about; it's the impact. It's how we're affecting and shaping lives and helping others to discover their purpose. You know, so if it's only 2 individuals walk away, we'll be a different person tomorrow. It was a success. Success. It was a success. So I know you have to run, but we appreciate you coming on because you're busy getting ready to be an attorney, a lawyer. You wanted to be a lawyer when you was 12 years old or something like that.
5
years old or something like that. You knew you was going to be a lawyer at 5. So that's just so powerful because you had to put that man away, right?
But I know I talked about it when we did our interview for my story to go in the book. I would have sworn up and down at 12 years old that I was going to get my law degree and put the man who took my aunt away from me behind bars. And I'm not even in law school yet. He's been sitting in prison for God knows how many years at this point. But at 12, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going in there. It's going to be me. I'm going to argue and you're going away and I'm going to put you there. But I absolutely admire the attorney that worked with my family, because at 12 years old, I had that confidence because he explained things so thoroughly, because he was so kind and so patient with my family. And I was a real good eavesdropper as a child. They didn't tell me anything. They wanted to keep me as far away from it as possible, protect my innocent 12-year-old mind. And I was listening to my mom explain things to my grandma, listening to my grandma explain things to my granddad, listening to my parents talk about it. I never spoke to the attorney, but because he's explained things so well, I was able to get things secondhand, and I literally understood each and every step of the legal process that was happening with my aunt's case. So I have been trying to reach out to him, and I cannot find the proper people to reach out to him, but I do want to be able to speak to him before I go off to law school, because he just does not know how much he has changed my life and the way that he has impacted my family. And if I could have that impact on even one family, I would absolutely love to do that for them, because that was a very dark time in my family. It was not something that I wish on even my worst enemy, not something that I wish for anybody to go through, but nobody deserves to go through something like that alone. And if I can be there for a family, if I can be that level of support and that level of kindness for them, I would feel like I accomplished my law degree 100 times over.
Well, I congratulate your mother and your dad for the work that they've done with you. So it's also, I had the opportunity to meet her, and when I was interviewing you, I asked, "How did all this happen?" And you pointed to your parents, and I met your moms, and I've been following her, and she's a powerful, 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 powerful human being. I won't even say a woman, human being, because she's just doing it, and she did an awesome job. Awesome job. And I've told you that before, and I want to say it again. You keep doing what you're doing. Stay focused. Keep your eyes on the prize and go get what you want out of life, because they're waiting for you.
Yes, thank you guys.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good rest of your show.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. All right. So that was Imari, and she really was her story was a classic example of pain to purpose. And it was really talk about losing a family member the way she did. It's no joke. So we have Tremaine, my daughter, on. We have our good favorite person, Pastor Alexi. Pastor Alexi, your phone is muted. Please unmute.
I'm here. I just didn't want to, interrupt or get any background noise in the feed.
We appreciate that, because you always look at those things, and I always notice that you do that all the time. That's a sign of a professional, right? So, how much time do we have you for, Pastor Lexi?
I'm good.
You're all right. Okay.
Yeah.
I know Tremaine will have to. So let's get to Tremaine, because Tremaine can't stay with us. Or can you stay with us, Tremaine?
I can stay for a little bit.
All right. So we're all good then. We're all here. We're all here. All right. So Pastor Lexi, Tremaine, let's have this conversation. What's the takeaway? What's the thing that did it for you? Was it Saturday night? Saturday night. And we can even take you to the brunch as well. What is that thing that did it for you?
Well, first, let me just say this. Dad and Donnie did an amazing job putting this together. I didn't know what to expect, and so walking into it, just impressive. So I'm just really proud of both of you guys and your team for putting this on. After I left the event, I mean, a lot of great speakers. There's no way that you could leave the same. If you did, I don't know what's wrong with you, but there was just no way that you could leave the same as you walked in. And so I literally prayed that night, asking God, to show me more of what my purpose is. Because counseling is a part of me, but I feel like there's just so much more for me. And so I want more, and that I left with, I want more.
Nice.
And so, thank you, Dad.
You know, My daughters are always saying thank you. What they don't understand that anything I do is because of them. They inspire me and motivate me. If it had it not been for them, I would be somewhere else. Not even, probably not even, don't care about doing anything. So I should be saying thank you to you and Kiana, and especially to my grandchildren, because it's because of them that I am doing anything, and you too. Seriously, it'll be so easy to sit back, right, and just not be inspired, not be motivated, not wanting to do. But because of you, your sister Kiana, and my two special Kanan and Annalise, how can I not? I'm living in a world, and if I can't do something to make this a better place for them to live in, what purpose do I serve? Just that alone is reason why I need to stand up, step up, and do what I need to do. So they are part of my collision, my purpose. Very much so. Very much so. They are why I am anything that I'm doing. They're the drivers behind it. They are the thing that is stimulating, pushing me, and because I want to make sure that I do whatever I can to help make this place a better place for them to grow up and live in, whatever that is, whatever that is. And I believe that I am given the blessing. I'm blessed, and I'm given favors by God to do it. And I know that I can do what I need to do, that will make a huge difference and make this place a better place. I know Donna is, you're in the same place. We all can, because we're walking in our purpose. Yeah. So it's not, don't thank me. I'm thanking you.
And I'm thanking you.
So okay, it's mutual.
Because you did something, you created a platform to trigger something in people, to influence them, to make them think, with the hope that they do not walk out the same. So
I wish Kiana was on, right? Because did I create anything? Because I'm seriously, nothing was planned. It happened. It really did. I literally got up and I said, I don't know what it was. I want to do something with purpose. I had no idea what it would look like. I had no idea. I didn't even know. Let me just say this for a second. I didn't even know we'd be writing books. I didn't care about any books. All I wanted to do was talk and bring people in to talk. Mm-hmm. The book thing came from Donna. And even going in the park, imagine, right? You're in the park walking with your thing. Hello, everyone. You look like you're losing it, right? I'm wondering what my friends are thinking. I'm talking all this stuff. Welcome to the next edition of the Collision with Purpose project. Send me your videos speaking about purpose. Well, you know what surprised me? My friends, they send videos. You know what surprised me? 70 plus in 1 year. People, some I don't even know. A novice like me interview them. Seriously, I've never interviewed anyone except for schoolwork when I'm doing my studies, right? That's the only time I've ever, and yet they trusted me to have this conversation with them. So that to me was quite intriguing, and that to me gave me energy to want to do more. So that's why I say nothing was planned, and then I can tell you, every day there was something new. It was like I was just pulling it off the top of my head. There was something new. Nothing planned, but it was done done well because we're not novice to doing things, right? We have some understanding of how things work. So Tremaine, sorry, but you can talk now.
I was going to say that so we'll say God gave you that, right? He gave you this idea to do this because God gives ideas all the time. 24/7, he's giving ideas, but it's you to pick it up and do something with it. And so you did something with it. And that's why I say thank you to you, because you did something with it. You get to let it float around and, this, purpose, and then walk away from it. But you didn't. You collided with it. And you brought Donna along with you and everybody else that was on that platform. that you continue to meet and have interviews with and come on your show, and people who are watching. And so thank you for saying yes.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You know, one of the interviews that was so powerful is my interview with Pastor Lexi, when she talked about, I had it all, that white picket fence, that this, that, that. And then she said she couldn't even get up. We got to the point she couldn't even get up. So Pastor Lexi, talk to us.
When we're talking about that moment.
Any moment you want to talk about. It's your talk, not mine, not Donna's, not Tremaine's.
Oh no. Well, first let me say this. I echo Tremaine in that, you know, I wasn't sure what to expect either. I was expecting greatness. That much I was expecting. But you know, all the ins and outs, wasn't sure what to expect. But it was absolutely amazing. You guys did a phenomenal job. And I have to echo many others who were saying, because you're saying, oh, it was intriguing to you that people were sending in their videos or, you know, knocking down the door, trying to be part of this project. And you know, and I can see maybe why you're a little bit taken aback by that or shocked by that. But again, you know, the messaging, you know, the message, people can get behind that. People can get behind you first and foremost, because people that know you, you know, and have watched you and have seen, even if someone like myself who's only known you for a short period of time, it's like, this guy's the real deal. And people can get behind that. And so a couple of my takeaways. So first, I want to share one that's a little funny, but not too funny. I mean, that's funny to me, but that cream of pumpkin soup. Whoever made that, listen, I'm just like, oh my goodness, it is so sad that I did not live nearby, because I would have taken that whole pot. So anyway, whoever did that, amazing job.
Let me tell you who did. Let me tell you who did. My niece, Sher's kitchen. She was the chef.
Okay. Were they the same ones that were doing the
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Well, amazing job. So if she hears this, that was oh my goodness. Anyway. So the other thing that that I was inspired by is that, you know, it's very easy to get on social media or watch television or, you know, wherever we're picking up news from. And we're always hearing a lot of negative things that are going on, a lot of, you know, things that are very distracting, you know, distracting people from doing things like this, from walking in their purpose. And so to be in this setting where the focus is to talk about purpose, and the focus is to encourage others to find their purpose, to, well, I always say rediscover, right? Because we're born, it's part of us long before we even hit this earth. So to rediscover it and encouraging those that, you know, maybe hadn't even given it much thought to give it thought. I just thought, wow, this is just really great to be in a setting like this where you can hear these amazing stories of just ordinary people. I mean, we're all just ordinary people who got an idea and did something about it, right? And I don't think any of us knows, Dr. Lax, I don't think any of us knows how something is going to play out entirely. Some of us may even sit down and plan, okay, it's going to look like this in year 3 and look like this in year 5. But the truth is, you know, if we are allowing God to do it, it's so much bigger than we could have ever thought or imagined. And so if you guys are thinking, oh, look at what this has become now, you guys can't even imagine what God is going to do through this project as you guys just continue to take those steps in faith. And so for me, that was a huge takeaway, to just be in a community of people where there's impact and it's just positive things going on. Everybody's sharing their stories. It's just amazing. And I think the more of that we can do, the more people that we can inspire to walk in their purpose. And the more people we can inspire to walk in their purpose, certainly you're talking about creating a different world. So that was just one of, there were so many, but those were a couple of the takeaways for me.
And that's powerful, powerful stuff there. That pumpkin soup.
Listen.
Pumpkin soup.
Listen, the soup. I mean, that soup is great. And
I
all
was
the
walking around. Donna, did you have any of the pumpkin soup? It was good.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
It was that good. It really was that good. I was all wandering around, walking around, and then somebody came to me and said, was it you?
It was me.
Did you have a pumpkin soup? So I went in there and I did a couple of those, couple cups of it. It was really that good. It really was. Pumpkin soup. And then we brought it to my house. That was, to me, was very intimate and special as well. So, yeah. We had a nice get together and it was fun. It was really good times. So Donna, I know you have a question or two for Tremaine and Mr. Lexi. I know you do.
I know.
Actually, before, so she can think about her questions, I also thought it was really cool to have the youth on stage and doing their thing. Just to, paving that or carving out that path for them to even like hear about purpose and trigger something in them, but also like sharing their talent. So I thought that was really cool to do that. So I really did appreciate. I appreciated those little kids in the audience, not just our kids, but there was other kids in there, and so that was cool to see.
So a number of people asked me, "Can kids come? Babies, bring them. This is the right environment. Bring them. I mean, it's your responsibility once you bring them to do what you need to do, but bring them. I would never, say not bring anyone to an event like this. Never, ever. So, and then the other thing about the students, I said, how can we bar students because they don't have any money? All students should be able to attend something like this, whether they can afford it or not. So we made sure that students, wherever they're from, attend for free. And I think that was, for me, that was a big piece. And we did just that. And what about those scholarships?
Yeah, that was cool too.
Yeah.
Did they know that they were going to get scholarships?
It was a raffle.
But did they know that there was a possibility that they would get a scholarship?
We made an announcement. Yeah, we made an announcement. We made an announcement, and Dr. Agatha, one of our clients, that Donna and I we work with, reached out to her. Not only did she buy a ticket to come, she also sponsored the scholarships. She also did. And I know for sure if I had said 10, she would have done 10. So we'll be going back to her, right? We'll go back. But she was so generous in doing that, so generous. And came on stage. I said to her, you have to come on stage and present it, right? She said, no. I said, yes, you do. We want, and it's not because she wanted to say, I did it. Well, I said, we need to set examples. We need to show people that there are real people out there giving back. And a lot of times when we announce and say such and such did this, that's the only reason why we're doing it. Because we want others to see that here we are, someone doing it, they should be doing it as well. So, and we get so caught up that I have to be loaded, I have to have so much money, I have to have resources to give back. No. In fact, I'm going to play a video on our next break about some youth in Kenya. And there's one thing, I was listening to the story, and the young girl said that her parents had her sleep with men just to support. It's a 9-year-old. So things like that. That's why we have to fight and eradicate those type of behaviors, and that's what the A Collision with Purpose is all about. When the A Collision with Purpose came about, all I know was going to do purpose. But day by day, we started to define and understand what the work was. One thing I knew for sure, I was only interested in talking to my neighbors, everyday people. It's their stories I wanted to hear, and I wanted to get out there because I know their stories will resonate in the communities, and that's what we did. I'm not interested in talking to anyone who looked like they were way up there or way over there. Just everyday regular people, and that's exactly what we did. I think that's why it's so impactful. If I can talk to my neighbor, and my neighbor is willing to come on and tell me that when I witnessed the death of my sister, and I was so mentally messed up that I was about to take my own life, and then a light bulb came on and said, I will not serve my sister well. That's a story in the book. I would not serve my sister well if I did that. So I need to use that situation and make a difference. And so those are the kind of things. And that's what you get when you talk to your neighbors and your friends. So Mr. Hines is on. Mr. Hines,
Yes.
you're a bit, can you get yourself centered so we can see you? I appreciate that. Because when you talk, we don't just want to hear your voice. We want to see you as well, So Mr. Hines, welcome,
Okay.
welcome. We're going over what, we went through on Saturday, the experience, what did it do for you, and what you think it did for others.
Okay, can you see me okay? Am I centered okay?
Yeah, you saw it going off the screen.
Yeah, you're good where you are now.
Okay, good. I'll try to hold it right there. Yeah, I think Saturday was awesome. I think it was exactly what a collision with purpose should be. I think the event was first class. I think that some kudos has got to go to whoever decorated the place. It was first class everywhere you look at it. I think the content that was available to people who came and saw, I think it was wonderful. I just have to give kudos to everybody involved in this event. I think it sets a whole new standard for what's available to people. And I think it's an idea whose time has come. So it's kind of like a woman who has carried her baby for 9 months. When that time comes, it is there. Regardless of what's jumping off, it's going to happen. So I think that's what's happening right now. I'm excited about it. I just think, Collision with Purpose is on a cutting edge. And I think that's a good place to be. And I think that's a good place to maintain the organization, to lead people. Because we are people who will imitate what we see. I've noticed that across different industries. If our people don't see it, in many instances, they don't think it's real, but when they see it, they say, oh, I can do that. So I think that is what's happening right now, and I'm happy about it. Well, that's basically input I want to share on that.
Oh, thank you, Art.
You know, Art, you know, your story, you know, promise made, a promise kept. And I know the first conversation, we actually did 2 interviews, right? And the first conversation when Art talked about his mother and how his mother would take care of him, take care of this little boy who always had some challenges, right? And then
Yes.
it was his turn. It was his turn. It was his turn. And Art, what is it that you said when you said a promise made? What was it that triggered that? A promise made, promise kept.
Well, when I was a young kid, I don't know, I was probably 7 or 8 years old, or 9 maybe. I had some health challenges, and my mother kept taking me to the doctor, but we had an old country doctor, and he wasn't up to the task of treating, you know, certain things. And he kept giving me a penicillin shot, and it would dry up the issue, but the issue would keep coming back maybe every month or 2 later. And then my mother got afraid. She was scared to death. She said, "All right, I don't know what's wrong with you. Uh, um, I hope you don't have cancer." But then what she told me, she said, "Well, I will tell you this, regardless to what it is, I will never leave you alone." Because see, before she told me that, I was a little bit afraid because I saw that she was afraid. So when she was afraid, I was afraid. But after she told me that, then I felt better. And when she told me, regardless to what's jumping off, I will never leave you alone, I said to myself in my own heart, I didn't tell her at the time, but I said to myself in my own heart, and Mom, I will never leave you alone. So I kept that in my heart for years. I mean, from the time I was 9 years old, I say, to the time she passed. I had thought about it maybe, you know, a few times between that. I don't know, that was what, over a 60-year span. I don't know exact numbers, but it was over a 60-year span of time from the time I committed that in my heart to the time it was executed. So the day that she passed, I was literally with her, and we had a good time. We just did everything she liked to do that day. And then when we got back home in the evening time, she was going to sit in our easy chair and she was going to rest a little bit. And then we were going to have supper. And she took a little nap like she always does. But then when it was time for supper, I went to wake her up, but she was gone. So that very thought came back to me after over 60, 70 years ago. Oh, Mom, I remember. You told me when I was a kid that you would never leave me alone, and I promised you in my heart that I will never leave you alone. That's when I said a promise made was a promise kept. So that's how that kicked in. And I feel good about it even now. I feel good about it because that's exactly what it was, a promise made and was a promise kept.
Page 147.
Yeah. Page 147.
Page 147. Yeah. So, and when he said he feels good about it, what does that say? He knows the page. You know, Pastor Lexi, what's your page number?
177, I believe.
Oh, so it's not just art. It's
Yeah.
not just art. It's
Yeah.
not just art. So you know your number as well, your page number. I imagine right now all the collaborators know their page number.
That's awesome.
Two powerful stories, Pastor Lexi's story. But you know what is so unique about Pastor Lexi? He's an honoree and a collaborator. Isn't that a big deal?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm humbled.
Eh?
I'm humbled. It's humbling.
Well, there's a reason why you are in both categories, right? And I was saying that earlier, there's no explanation for success and there's no alibi for failure. Because when you're doing the work, guess what? You will achieve, you'll be successful. When it's not working, when you're not getting your results, it's because you're not doing the work. So that you are in both sections of the the honorary and the collaborator section, it says a lot. So humbled, yes, but it's a big
By
deal.
God's grace. I said, by God's grace.
Mm-hmm. And tell us about your title. Your title, your title, your subtitle. Mm-hmm.
In the book.
Yes, in the book. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the title is I've lost it all.
Wow.
That is the title. I've lost it all.
What is that saying? I've lost it all.
Well, there was a period of time between 2008 and 2011 where I pretty much almost anything you could think of losing financially, I did. So, from job to marriage to homes to cars to just about anything you can think of. And the only thing that was left after all of that was a mountain of debt, $300,000 worth of debt. And something like that. Like I said, when you are conditioned to, achieve that American dream, go to school, get your degree, get the good paying job, get married, have the kids, all of those good things. And you do all of that. And then these string of events start to happen. You really start to question life. You're like, I did what they told me to do. Now, I may not have done it all in the right order, but I did everything. I accomplished everything that people told me to do. And they say, if you do this, you have this happily ever after. So what was I to think, that after accomplishing all of that, and now losing all of that, you ask yourself, well, then what else is there? What else is there? And so earlier you mentioned, that whole get up piece. And that's because, there was this night, where it had become regular for me to just cry myself to sleep every night after I'd gotten the children. They were very small at that time to bed. It had just become a regular thing for me to just cry myself to sleep. But this last night that I did it, that the spirit, long story short, said to me, get up, right? Get up. I'm like, get up. I'm like, get up and do what? But get up. And that was all that was said. There were no further instructions. There was nothing else. It was just get up. And, when I shared that with people, and I think we mentioned it earlier, sometimes, God will give you something. He just gives you this one thing. And it's like, just get up and do that thing, whatever it is. So for me, it was just getting up, because my getting up was a demonstration of that mustard seed of faith. And so when you demonstrate that mustard seed of faith, take that first foot forward, whatever that is, then God begins to work out the rest. And so I'm just grateful that I listened, that I got up. And because, who knows where I would be, if I would even be on this side of life right now. So I'm just grateful and humbled in the ways that the Lord continues to use me in the work that he laid out for me.
Wow. Get up. That was it. Get
That was
up. Get up. And you said, and to do up and do what? Ain't nothing working. What am I getting up for? But
right.
but obedience set in at some point, and you got up and you did, and here you are. And
You're
look
right.
look at it. Look what happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got to meet all of you great people. This is awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Mhm.
So we have Jessica all the way from Kenya joining us. And we have our keynote speaker, Dr. Kamala, on. Isn't this awesome? And you know what is interesting? So far, Tremaine, I didn't interview you, but everybody else that came on, I interviewed them. Yeah. Donna was my first interview, right? And actually, Donna was, and one night we did about 8 interviews.
Long night.
All night. So we practiced it, right? You got to practice, right? And you've never done this before. You've never done this before. It was the first interview, and we were practicing. And I said, Donna, you ready? Yes. So I'm drilling Donna with questions, Donna answering. No, that one is not good enough. Let's do it again. You know what I didn't know though? The first one was the best one.
Mm-hmm.
So all the time we were practicing, it didn't get any better. It was the first interview that we did that really nailed it. Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
I have your plaques here. I wish I could send them to you. You'll get them in September.
I can't wait to receive them.
So are you saying we should bring it now?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like, right? I'm saying September. She said, I can't wait. Is that saying that? No, I want my thing now. And why not? Why not? Hey, Doc.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
How's everyone doing?
Great.
Yeah.
Good to see you all again.
Same here.
Wow, it was just Saturday, right? No, it was just Sunday that we got together. It got together. Wow. So Tremaine just texted me that I'm out. That means she's leaving. Is that what it means? Is that what you mean here?
That's what that means.
So you text me that I'm out. Let me tell you, it is so interesting, right? Working with, it's like it's my daughters, right? So interesting. It is so interesting working with your close friend, Donna, right? So interesting. So we're friends, and we're doing this thing together. You know, it's amazing how that works. You know, I just don't. That's another thing that's so intriguing for me is that I'm having these conversations with my friends about purpose. I remember when I interviewed Dr. Cecelia, and I said, I want you to come on. She said, why would I want to talk to you about purpose? That's what she said. After the interview, you know what she said? I want to come back on. I want to talk about my purpose as an occupational therapist. So it went from, why should I talk to you about purpose, to I want to come back on. And it's amazing how that momentum, that whole acknowledgement of the importance of what we're doing, that started to grow, pick up momentum, that started to grow. It got to the point where now people started calling me. I want to be interviewed. And worse than that, I had people calling me and start asking me questions about purpose. And I said, I'm not an expert. I don't know anything about it. I'm in pursuit of my purpose. That's what I'm here doing. You're doing your thing, but I'm in pursuit of my purpose. That's what I'm in. So, you know, purpose is not a fixed thing, right? And it's not a destination, right? It's not a destination. So I'm getting these calls like I'm an expert. I said, no, that's not what this is about. This is a platform for you to say your piece. And hopefully someone will listen to you and it will trigger something. in them, you know. So, Tremaine, bye. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Say bye. So we
Have
have
a good one, Tremaine.
Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming.
I did want to say one thing, and then I'm really out for real. That everybody is looking for their purpose. Like Pastor Lexi said, we are born with it, and this life, this journey is about finding it. And so these conversations are important for those people who are reaching out to you because they wanted to do the interview, because it's awesome and it's important to talk about. And people who are reaching out, hey, what is purpose? It's because they want to know it. And so I think you're a catalyst in this. You said yes and have become a catalyst. And so I think that's dope. I think it's awesome. We need to have these conversations. People need to have these conversations every day. Well, what's the purpose of being here? You know, and so we get to live out our purpose. So when we are empty, we get to leave. You know, so
yeah.
I'm out.
And another before you go, another thing. Imagine writing a book with your daughters, and you close friends. That's another big piece. You know, it's just purpose is a powerful thing, right? When you're doing all these things, you know, there was a time when I was so busy working, right, that I had a business that was crazy busy, and I couldn't spend any time home. You remember those days for me, the real estate days? So you know what I did? You know what I did to see my daughters? I brought them to the office to work with me, because that's the only time I could see them. Both of them, because I was so busy. So I said, the only way I can see you and spend time is in the office. So they end up working with me.
I didn't even know that's why you did that.
I
didn't even know that's why you did that. But I'm out of here. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Spend time with them. Bye, Tremaine. Bye. I thought I would share that. If you don't have a way or any other way to do it, then you bring them closer to you. And that's what I did. They brought both of them working in the office. Just like that. So anyway, Trent, bye. You gotta go. We need to hear from Dr. Campbell and Lady Jessica. Lady Jessica, it's about what, 4 a.m. in the morning for you?
It is 5 a.m.
5 a.m. That's awesome. Talk about commitment and dedication. You know, purpose, thanks to Pastor Lexi, brought us to Kenya.
Yeah.
Purpose did. And what a purpose. That was. Talk about purpose. You know, brought us to Kenya. And so, Jessica, talk to us. You watched the event from Kenya.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? How did you walk away from the event?
First, I must say that I was so much grateful, and we felt honored to receive the award. As a foundation, I can say maybe we never thought that the work that we do will ever come to this point, because what we believe as Hope and Destiny Foundation is that service to humanity is service to God. Once we serve humanity, we believe that we are serving God, and we believe that we will get our reward from heaven. So once you find that there's somebody somewhere on earth who can recognize the work that you are doing and choose to award you or recognize the work that you are doing, it was a great honor, it was a great privilege. So we don't take it for granted. Once again, thank you so much. Number two, we were able to watch the event live, and to me, it was a great honor to see the different types of people who were there to share their stories about their purpose, how they are finding their purpose, how they are pursuing their purpose. It was a real great honor. That really inspired me to know that for sure purpose is not something that is just I think that you just get it once. It's something that you pursue, and it takes time to get it. I just discovered that I'm even yet to receive to really come to a full realization of my real purpose. I still feel in my heart that there's something more I need to discover and pursue as my purpose. That is something that really came out outstanding for me after the event. I just discovered, no, there's something more that I need to do, because after hearing the many stories, I discovered there's something more that I need to do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I can hear purpose there in the background. It's such a beautiful sound, right? Purpose. I love it. I love it.
Can I say something on the whole us traveling to Kenya real quick? So for quite some time, Dr. Stephenson, myself, and other individuals, we've been talking about visiting Africa, but we always talked about going to Ghana. That was always our thing. Like our first trip would be going to Ghana. We had it, that's where we wanted to go and all this good stuff. And when Pastor Lexi, her trip came up with Elder Joan, and I was like, yep, I'm going to go. And then I told Lux, I'm like, Lux, we're going to Kenya.
Well, she did not ask me. She did not ask me.
I said, okay, it's not Ghana, but we have the opportunity to go. So we're going. Had no clue, no idea what we were walking into, what we were going for, but we knew we were going. And we went through our training. Our training was great. Still did not know what our purpose really was supposed to be going there. Fast forward, here we are today. And this is a true evidence of colliding with your purpose finding you, every single thing you can possibly think about as far as purpose. Because we're now connected with Jessica and Patrick with Hope and Destiny Foundation and the work that they're doing and the work that we're doing here and what we believe in. And just saying that, that sometimes in life, don't always be quick to jump and say no to opportunities. And you don't have to have all the answers. You really don't, because we didn't. We didn't have we didn't really have all the answers. But if it's right and it feels right, just do it. Yeah. Just do it, and you'll be amazed to see the success that comes from it.
What an important point. We are so quick to say no. And so I invited a number of people to this event, to our event. And one in particular, I persuaded her, I pushed her, and she bought a ticket. And she called me up the next day and she said, oh my God, I'm so happy I came. And I said to her, learn to say yes. I said, you are giving away your opportunities every time you say no. I said, what do you have to lose by going? I rarely go somewhere where it's not beneficial, where I don't learn something. And I said, that's how you need to. So, Donna, what a solid point. Learn to just do it. Try it. What do you have to lose?
And don't think about the money, because trust me, we were like, we don't know, but it wasn't for us to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like we had all this money stashed up to say, oh, yes, just go ahead and, no, we did not. But it wasn't, once we said yes, it just.
Yes, just happened. And what an injection that was. Kenya was an injection, just pushing a collision with purpose into purpose. Imagine pushing a collision purpose into purpose. That's exactly what it did. Because here we are now, we're doing all this work with Lady Jessica in Kenya. I mean, real work. I have friends who are wanting to sponsor kids, help kids, do all that wonderful stuff. And it's happening. And we're going to get so many more. And to the point where if you're out there listening, we have 2 books up right now that we're selling, right? 2 books. Unearthing You and A Collision with Purpose. And if you purchase the, wow. if you purchase that book there on our website, $5 will go towards a College of Its Purpose Scholarship Fund. And if you watch the event, we gave away 3 scholarships. We have done 3, and we're about to do 1 more in Kenya. And by the end of this year, I guarantee you, we'll be covering maybe 40 kids. And why is that important? I'm going to play. Let's before I even go into why that's important, let's hear from Dr. Cameron, who was so gracious and kind. When I asked her to be the MC, she jumped on it, and I appreciate you for doing that.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciated the event. Now, even as a keynote speaker, every awardee had an opportunity to share their stories. And I think one thing that was really fascinating was looking at how there's so much diversity on how purpose unfolds. I did not realize that a collision with purpose started off with a dream you had, Dr. Stephenson, until the event. And I thought, what if we all had dreams that were very clear, that we were able to interpret, and that we just woke up and carried them out, right? Without hesitation. You know, how much greater would the world be? There are a few people who shared their story. One that comes to mind is a nurse who's now transitioning to completing her doctorate, right? She talks about the transition and how just with her faithfulness as a nurse and her diligence with research as a nurse, how that has really unfolded to greater territory. And so there's no one perfect path, but I think that as you continue to interview others and share their story, it will help open up other people's ideas around what that path looks like for them. And so I was inspired, even though I was coming to share my story as well. So thank you for creating the platform and for writing your book. My daughter's 11, and she has picked up the book and gone through the stories and has been thinking about her purpose. And she even said, you know, it's so easy to read. I already finished 2. And I was like, way to go. And so we've had conversations even over the dinner table. Like, what do you think your purpose is? And while she does have passions like math and science, some of the things has even surprised me. Like, I want people to get clarity on their purpose. I'm like, what? You know, so I'm excited to see her really think about the types of changes and transformation she plans to make in the world. So again, thank you. You're not just inspiring young adults and adults, but even the young kids and future leaders.
You know, thank you for saying that, because that's what this is really about. Our future, right? Future leaders. That, you know, and what I'm learning from all of this too is how we believe we know it, right? As some of us older people, right? Older, I should say. You know, but these younger folks, they can teach us so much. We can really and truly learn from them. That's what I'm learning. You know, Imari, Daniel, the young soon to be doctor, and that fast paced, right? They're so bright. They're so sharp. I mean, you just feel better that this space is going to be okay with them. They're really prime and ready to do what needs to be done to make this place a better place. So it's our job. I think it was Art that said it that people are saying these kids are going to somewhere held in some type of basket. But that's not the case. People have given up on these young folks way too often when we're the ones that created a mess.
Mm-hmm.
We are the ones creating a mess for them and just hand it off and say, okay, take it, do something good with it. We did it. So there's so much more for us. You know, even Art and I, we're probably the 2 oldest on here, but our work is not done. It's just beginning. It's just a start. I am so energized when I look at my grandchildren and see how involved my two daughters are. That just energized me and say, man, so much more I can do. I have not, Jessica said she's still searching. Guess what? I'm in deep search myself. Deep search. And Donna, you know that. That's why I can't settle on one thing. That's why you see all these different things happening in a collision with purpose. And so you'll be seeing in unearthing you. Donna, can you let the person
I
on?
will. I will.
You will be seeing how it's going. You will be seeing real soon the Unearthing You workshop on demand. You can go take it per chapter or the full thing. You'll be seeing a learning academy coming up where we'll be teaching real life skills. And you'll be seeing we're doing an anthology, coming out of bridging generations, voices of men. And voice of men. We're not saying women can't be a part of it. We welcome that because you can't just have men and not. It's a mix, right? So you'll be seeing all of us. Hey, Elder
Hi,
Joe,
Elder.
Hi guys, how are you?
happy birthday to Izzy.
Thank you. I just left this party.
Wow, so good to see you.
Thank you. So happy I caught you guys. Thank you for sending me the link, Sandy.
You're welcome.
Hey, Lady Jessica.
Hi, John.
We're going over what happened. What was the high point? What was the thing that did it for you? So just jump in and tell us.
Yeah, so for me, I think I was telling you this yesterday. I walked away with what's next.
Mm-hmm.
That was the response.
I love that what's next thing. I love that.
That was the resounding thing for me. What is next? I got a chance to read the stories. I knew what the book was about, right? I wrote the foreword. So the book I was as intimate with the book as you and Lexi and Donna and all of the authors. Art, I read your story. I loved it. So all of the stories in the book I could relate to in some way, shape, or form. But when I left the event, what I walked away with, what is next for me, right? I was surrounded by like-minded individuals that were aligned with my skill sets, with my core values. And so because, I see all these different things that you're doing, I am now challenging myself. What is next? How do I serve more, right? The whole servant leadership thing. And I think this because of what you're doing in Kenya. I also started the Trisha Win Payne Scholarship Fund because of what I saw you do, right? So that's what I love, where, when you are surrounded by thought leaders and visionaries, and you are inspired and, propelled into this elevated kind of position because of the work everybody else is doing. So for me, I challenge myself, what is next?
And that's such a big thing. That is such a big deal because it's always what is next? What can I do? I see something, I went there and I experience it. So what?
Yeah.
If there's not what's next. And for me, that's the key. That's where the action part comes into play.
Wow.
Okay? So what's next is a big deal. I congratulate you on that. The scholarship thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Huge deal.
Yeah.
So, and listeners and those watching us, get involved. You don't have to put your scholarships through us at a collision or with Jones Organized. What's your thing called, Joan? Your scholarship thing?
Mine is the Trisha Win Payne Scholarship Fund. And the reason why I named it that is that was the first author we published with Victorious U Press.
Okay, awesome.
And so we're just the fund is it's recognizing her for the role she played in telling me that this is what I'm supposed to do. She helped me walk into purpose.
Wow.
And so it's an honor for us to name our scholarship fund after her.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Jessica was sharing with me, talking about scholarships, right? Here are these kids going to school.
Mm-hmm.
They pay their tuition.
Mm-hmm.
Buy books.
I know, right?
Yeah. So Jessica, we're going to take care of that. They can't buy books. They can't buy textbooks. They can't buy books to write.
Yeah.
So that's just half the story, right? That when you pay their tuition, it's just a big part, but it's not all of it.
Right.
So if you're, again, and I've said this often, over and over, this is not a telethon. We're not asking for money, but if it's in you, just do something. Do something.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many. Jessica shared a video with me, and this thing just messed me up. Right? This young lady was talking. What was it? 9 years old. That her parents sent her out to be with men, so they can afford. She's got money. A young 9-year-old.
Yeah.
That is. And you know, as a parent, you know, having daughters, stuff like that, it hits me real hard. I have to tell you that. So, anyway,
Laxley.
Yes, sir.
I like to share a thought. I see what's happening as a very logical, systematic revelation of what is to happen. The core book, A Collision with Purpose, I see that as the seed of the whole adventure. It's the seed. And as you know, the seed is what carries the DNA. So in other words, when you plant an acorn, well, that oak tree DNA is in that seed. Now, I see unearthing you as the second component that's essential for growing this thing. In order to grow that oak tree, you must have the earth. Unearthing you is the earth, because the seed wouldn't prosper unless it has what the earth elements are. That's the water and the soil and the minerals and all the other essential components that support that seed for growth. Now, I see unearthing you as a way forward from this seed that has been planted. Unearthing you is the very way forward. How can I find my purpose? People ask. And they've asked me, I know they've asked you and everybody else involved, how can I find my way forward? So I think that's the logical way forward from here. Because what that does is it gets people talking. And when people are talking, then the listener at some point, and I was reading something not long ago where when people are talking, at some point, there are certain parts of their brain that kind of lights up. But the important part of that is that it has an impact on the listener. So the same part of the person's brain that's talking, once the listener has tapped in, it's amazing how their brain coordinate and they tend to light up in the same area. So talking and listening is really copying what is actually being said, which ties right back to the collision with purpose. And not only is it copying it, it's spreading it. It's spreading it amongst people who say, well, I really hadn't thought about it that way. But not only just spreading it, it's multiplying. So that's the way forward, in my opinion. So I just wanted to share that.
And if Sir Arthur Hines says it's so, then it is so.
And so it is.
And so it is. And that is it. So, but on a serious note, Art, you know, it is. You know, interestingly, Unearthing You was supposed to be the second book. But me in my haste and eagerness and just want to get something done, I said, we're doing this book now. We're not waiting. Because if this is so important, we're not going to wait until next year when we have our event, when we're going to be in December. We're doing this book now. And we literally got it done in a hurry because we wanted to take it with us to Kenya. So that book, so Art, what you're saying, but guess what? It's still doing that. Just as you described it, right? So now we have one, then we have the other, and you're correct. One, the Unearthing You is the way. Shows you how to get it done, how to get there. Right? And that's exactly what it's doing. But I want to say something. There is another version of Unearthing You coming.
Mm-hmm.
This one is going to be with scriptures. And I know Pastor Lexi, she's going to light up like a Christmas tree. I never joke. They're going to light up like that, you know. Yeah, there's one. It's coming. And it's going to be powerful. And let me share this with you. I had a phone call today. Someone was very upset at me. They texted me and said, you did not respond to me. And I wanted to be at the event. And I texted you, and I knew it was going to be in December and February, but I didn't know you moved it to March. But that's where it went, right? And I'm very disappointed that you didn't text me, because you texted me 3 days ago. You know, in our business.
Oh, man.
Respond to her. And she said, you made me miss it. And I wanted to be there. And then I said to her, well, I apologize because she's such a supporter, right? And she shared things. And then she said to me, I want you to bring the book to my church.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. I want you to bring it there. And I'm going to talk to my pastor. And you come and have a book signing here. And I know that's how we're going to populate the universe with this book. We're going to be taking it to schools, to all kinds of institutions, right? That will see value in it. So we're going to do it. But she was very disappointed, and so was I, because she deserved to be at the event.
Mm-hmm.
She really did. So I know I let her down, but she's okay with me now, right? She's okay, you know. So I only responded to her text a few days ago. Today I responded. And I told her we had the event today. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we were so busy, right? So who's looking at the text?
Yeah.
A lesson there. Pay attention to your communication.
We are doing a women's conference for our ministry in May. And I think I shared this with you. Unearthing You is going to be our workshop. The day of Pastor Lexi will be there too. The day of the event, day 2 of the event, I'm facilitating a workshop with Unearthing You.
Your guide.
Mm-hmm.
Self-discovery.
Absolutely.
That's it. And we've been working with Lady Jessica with Unearthing You, and she's gone through most of it and really captured it so well. So we will be doing those workshops over there in Kenya as well. We'll be doing those. Yeah, she's really gone through it, captured it, and really I want to do it at her school.
Yeah,
teaching for those young ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really want to get it in there. And the next thing that Patrick, talking to a university in Mombasa, that we're looking to do some work with them as well. So Art, you said it right.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
And have you seen the amount of people in Kenya wearing a collision with purpose? That is amazing.
It's crazy. I mean, bags and T-shirts, and I'm like, wait a minute. That's Patrick now. That's Patrick.
Go get her, you know.
Oh, yeah.
He's ahead of himself, right? He's ahead of himself. But so I asked him, why are people buying these things? And he said it's a message. It's a messaging. Mm-hmm. I am walking in purpose. I am created for a purpose. I am living. You know, you're taking ownership, right? I am. Mm-hmm. It's working. And the same thing happened at the event. Same thing happened at the event. So, you know, and why is that important that people are buying it? This now will help us to finance work ahead. Because it's, you know, it's all good and well to say we want to do these things.
Yeah.
But there's a cost to everything, right? So now we have something that we can use to generate money to do the work. It helps to speed up the process to get things done. So we'll never hear that there's some kids in Kenya or in the Black Belt where Art is from in Alabama that can't do something, can't go to school, right? Right, Art in the Black Belt. We know how that place is.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you ever hear that story, that's a story. We're going to do some work there. And so with these line of stuff, we're going to do the sneakers. You know, we're doing everything. We're going to have a full line. And talking about growing it up, I'm going to put this out there, right? If we need to get everyone involved, not because it's us, but because you need to be a part of something that is serving humanity, serving mankind, serving you. And that's what the collision with purpose is all about. It's so bringing us to that place where we now understand ourselves better and preparing us to be better citizens, better members of our communities to do work. And because all of us have children, right? And some of us have grandchildren, right? So what will the world look like if we don't play our part? To get it straight. And that's what this collision with purpose is all about. Nothing else. Building communities. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
An idea whose time has come. and Ms. Jones is blazing the trail. we all should follow her footsteps.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. You know, if I didn't get a chance to say what I wanted to say, but my thing was going to be about the power of an idea. So I was going to speak on the power of an idea. And I was going to use the collision with purpose as an example of an idea. Because I literally just got up, woke up, and say, I want to do something about purpose. Because I felt so uncomfortable. The day before I did an interview on a program called Leafless but Not Lifeless. And I wonder, why would anybody look at me and say I'm put in that category, right? But I went and I did it, and I walked away from it and said, well, I'm not the dumbest person out there. I have some skills. But am I doing what I should be doing with these things that I have? And I came to the conclusion, I said, no, you're not. And I said, if I'm not doing it, then probably so many of us are not doing it. And why are we not doing it? Because we don't know why we're here. We're here for a reason, but we don't know what it is. So I went to bed that night, and I woke up the next morning heavy. And I said, Kiana, I want to do something about purpose. And that's exactly how it came out. And I didn't have a clue. And I said, and she said, and I said to her, she came up with a name. You know, I'm not that bright to come up with those kind of names. She came up with a name. And then I said, how do I get it out? Because I asked them, I don't just do stuff. I asked them, because I have to protect them. They all want to do something crazy, Dad. You can't do that. So she said, go take a walk in the park and talk about it. So imagine you're in the park walking, and then you come and post it on YouTube. People say, this guy, he lost it. But that's exactly how it came about. And then I said, I'm going to ask my friends them to give me some short 1 minute videos. I'm not brave enough to ask them for an interview yet. I'm not there. And then after the 1 minute, I said, they're sending them in. They're sending them in. I said, let's do interviews. So I went, and the first interview was with Donna, CFO. And we did one interview about 10 times to get it right. And guess what? The first interview we did is the one we used, not the other ones. So that's literally. And then Donna said, you need to do a book. You need to put. I said, a book? What do you mean a book? I'm not there. Art, you know me. I'm about, who's gonna read? I'm about, let's do it, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. And that was Donna's thing, the book thing. And then, but we said, let's do it. And then next thing I know, I'm getting calls from all over the world, literally getting calls from people all over the world. It's great. It's amazing how it happened. So I knew that it's not my thing. It was something much bigger. I can do that, right?
I remember the day. I remember exactly where I was the day. I was going to the farmer's market. And that was the day when we were trying to decide what are we going to name the sections. Remember? And we were going back and forth with the name for each section. But I just love how, it came out so beautifully, right? Pain to purpose, crashing into purpose, because that was me, I crashed into my purpose. But and it was important to kind of give it the sections, right? Just so that people can read it in bite size. And instead of a book, we're just chapter after chapter after chapter. Each section kind of talks about, what this means. And it also helps people to understand too and think about it. Oh, really? Crashing into purpose. Purpose by design, because some people, like your granddaughter, she knows she wants to be a dentist. That's it. That's already there. And more than likely she will be. Right. So she's already carved it out. She knows it. But there's others that something traumatic has to happen for them to recognize, wait a minute, all of this was being built up for me to be able to walk this out. So it's powerful.
The section was so powerful. And so I always say this was a case study, right? Research. And that's what I wanted to present it as. You remember?
Yes.
For me, it was a case study, right?
Yes.
And the individuals interviewing, they're the population of the study. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
And from that case study emerged 3 themes. And those are the themes, right? For me, that's what it was. I was going to publish it in the journal. Yeah, that was my thinking. Donna with our brilliant idea about book. But for me, that's what it was, a case study. But this is not make-up story, right? These are real factual stuff we're reporting on. And just to say a little bit, the book cover, because that was so amazing. So I went to a photo shoot, right? And Kiana came with me, and so my grandson, because he's always with me. And at the end of the photo shoot, it's over. He came running, I went to hug him. And that's the picture on the book cover. It was that's not what we wanted, but yeah, I'm hugging him. He's running towards me. And I'm hugging him. That's what happened. He's running towards me. And I said, yes, that's it. Done deal. And my guy, Shella Topstar, one of my recording artists that signed to me, he did genius work to make that into what it is. When I tell you what he went through for the light to come out of that circle, there's an empty hole there, and then they shine light from coming out of that. It was just amazing how he did it. So gotta give him credit, big him up, because he made it happen. Elder Joan, the publisher, it's just an amazing story. And I'll tell you this, I'm still interviewing. If you want to come on, we're still interviewing, because there's going to be a book 2, book 3, and this topic, In Pursuit of Purpose, because as Art said it, this is the foundation. The collision of purpose in pursuit of purpose. It can't just be one volume or two, because the stories are changing. The stories are different. It's endless learning, endless examples, right? So you can't stop it there. So I can see Donna start planning next event, but we're going to do it in February, Black History Month. Start planning it. Donna, start planning next event.
Oh, it's already. I mean, it's already in my head. So
Okay, all right. And Jessica, we're doing it in Kenya as well. Patrick already said that he told me we'll have 5,000 for our first event there. That's what he told me, and I said we're good with that. He said no less 5, and so we're doing it in Kenya. We're doing it, so it's an annual thing. It's an annual thing, and it's a good thing. How was the saxophone played?
Fantastic.
Saxophone player was good, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, he was fantastic.
He was great.
Yeah.
He came in from Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
He's my bandmate. We played together.
Yeah.
We were in the same band, yeah. And when I told him, I said, we're thinking about getting someone here locally. And then Donna was in the car. I said, let me call my buddy Joey. What did he say, Donna? I'm in, just like that. And he left here this morning, and you know what he said? I want to take this back to Connecticut. He said he was backstage and he was mesmerized. He said he was watching everything and he was so, goodness. So he wants to go back and do what we're doing here.
We could do a Collision with Purpose, the tour, and take it to different cities.
That's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly right, Joe. We're going to take it on the road.
Yep.
Yeah. It, all right to say we need it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's time has come, and it will happen. It's kind of like that, like that full term carrying that baby. It's not going to sit there for 12 months. It will happen.
You got to come up. You got to come up. So, it is what it is. We've been on now for 2 hours, 17 minutes. So let's just do a around the table and close it out, because we have some work still to do. Now, how was the brunch?
Oh my God, don't even talk about the brunch. The brunch was the cherry on the top.
The cherry on the top.
It was the cherry on the top. Oh my gosh. Oh God. The best ackee and saltfish I've ever eaten. Ever. It was amazing.
What about the cornmeal dumpling?
No, somebody couldn't manage that.
Pastor Lexi went in. She went in.
Oh, I went in. The dumpling was fried, everything.
Yeah, I'm saying Pastor Lexi don't know, but then I keep forgetting she's from the islands.
Yes.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. But she jumped in. Yeah. So we can't do it forever. So we have to close it down. So, but it's been just so awesome, just having this conversation and just going for all of us. We're so involved with the Collision with Purpose and the book, all of us. So, we'll continue to work. But let's just go around the room and say our final thought for tonight. We'll start with Art, because Art got stuff.
Well,
Art, philosophical.
I just believe that it's an idea whose time has come, but at the same time, I believe that once that happens, responsibility is tied to it. So, and that time has come is our responsibility to make sure that it goes out in such a way that it will do what it is designed to do, and that is change the world by changing people.
Wow.
Anyone can grab the mic, you know. You feel it, take it.
All right, so I'm gonna go next. I think that we have stumbled onto something that has global impact. And I think that as we continue to be intentional about taking the word out, we're changing lives one person at a time, one state at a time, one country at a time. And I think we have not yet seen the magnitude of what a collision with purpose will do.
So true. One at a time.
I definitely have to agree. There is the statistic that only 2% of people are actually walking in their purpose. Of all the people we have in the world, that there are only 2% who are truly living out their purpose. And so the field is wide open. I'm in agreement with Mr. Hines with Art when he says that, it's the time for this. And I believe that this is the movement that will take that 2% and move that number up.
2%. You know, let me say something on that, because one of the questions that Elder Joan asked me, who's our audience? And I said the world. You remember I saying that?
Yep.
I did not narrow it down to this, that. I couldn't do it because I know we all need it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you said that, it was so broad, but to me, it was the answer to give. Who's our audience? Who we're gonna have? I'm just a people. Mm-hmm. And you just said it, 2%, right? I mean, we have 8 billion, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know what can happen. Look at the possibilities, right? Yeah. And I have no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind that we're going to tap into.
Yeah.
I have no doubt. This, what we did at the event was, for me, wasn't even about a book signing. It wasn't even about. It was, for me, honoring and recognizing people is always important. But for me, it was an introduction of the Ecology and Purpose project. You know, we're coming together and we're saying, this is what we're doing. Here's an introduction. This is what it's going to look like. So we know if we start here, it can only get better and better, a bit more impactful. Yeah. So, Jessica.
Yeah, I think what I can say as my closing remarks is that for now, it's now high time that this news has to go around the world. As the response you gave to John says, the audience is the world. It's true that this message belongs to the whole world. It is time that the world and the people around the world have to know this thing about purpose. And it is us to do it. Let us spread the news. Let us talk to people about purpose. Let us help people discover their purpose. Let us help them live in line with their purpose. And I know with that, the world will be a better place. Thank you.
Thank you. All the way from Kenya, it was 5 something in the morning. And you're teaching today? In school today?
Yeah. In fact, immediately after this, I'm preparing to go to school.
Well, you'll go there in a good place after this conversation. You'll be so. Pastor Alexi, the honoree and collaborator. Oh, what a night. If I could sing, I would sing, oh, what a night. So, Pastor Alexi.
Oh, I already spoke about the 2%. You
did?
Pass the mic.
Hmm?
You're honorary and a collaborator.
Listen, somebody put something in the chat that is profound, and I want to read it. It says, "This is and will be the light to so many who are wandering in the dark, searching for purpose." That's great.
Can we put it on the screen? Can we put it on the screen now?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's big.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. Huge.
That was one.
That was one.
Mm-hmm.
One is one of my original when I was into mentoring people. He was my mentee. And what a joy to see who one is today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To know that we did so much in his when he was a younger guy, you know. So proud, I'm so proud of him. Every business that I've ever done, because he was a pastor from back, young pastor, and he is always the one that would say, "Bless the prior," do all those things. I always made sure he did it when he was that young guy. So when I did my real estate company, he was always very much a part of it.
Wow.
And look at one now and what he's doing, mentoring all these people. Powerful, right? So when you pass it on.
Yep.
Pass it on. That's how powerful things are. Sister Donna. Before we go, Sister Donna, when I walked in and I saw that thing you had in the thing there, whatever you call that thing, you messed me up. When I saw that beautiful design and that thing looked so, I said, you got me. And she did it. She didn't let me know what she was doing. We're doing everything together, right? And she did that and kept it a secret. When I walked in and I saw that, that was like 9 o'clock in the morning. And I saw that, I was just blown away. And I posted it, right? And I said, no, posted, but that's how I was like, my goodness, we didn't have to do this. We were, Donna just can't help herself. Donna just has to go all the way.
I got some hidden skills.
Not to me, they're not hidden. But I'm just saying we didn't have to do this. And Donna said, yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. She's going to make it look like it should be. And she did just that.
It was very intentional and it screamed purpose.
The ball.
Mm-hmm.
Ball and all purpose. Yeah. Hey, Donna, man, you, but I got your back. I got you. I got her back. So Donna, Donna, you're closing.
I guess in my closing, I just want to, tell everyone thanks, definitely for joining us and spending the evening with us. And of course, for Saturday, for being there. And we greatly appreciate everything that you all have done. I think what's great with Dr. Stephenson and myself is that we have the same vision as to where our collision of purpose is going. And so we know that everything that happens, nothing is really surprising. Nothing is really surprising because we know that it's the powers greater that is propelling this movement that is happening, because it is something that needs to happen. And we're just thankful. We're thankful and we're humbled that we're in the right place at the right time. Just to be the conduit where we can impact and change individuals' lives, whether it's abroad or here, just like how we had, our MC said earlier that, this event actually made him have to start doing some deep dive look into his life and his being and really start looking at, his true purpose. So I'm happy that it did what it was supposed to do. And I'm happy for that. And I'm grateful for that. So, and I'm happy for Dr. Stephenson, and I'm proud of you that you have done all this great work. So, and we'll keep pushing each other. My crazy ideas as well. I'll come out with some crazy ideas. Oh, we're going to do this.
That said to me, they always say, can you stop talking? I'm writing. You're driving me crazy because my brain is messed up, right, Donna? Yeah. I was having a conversation with our good friend, Cecelia, and she said, "How did you end up over there when we're talking about this?" Right? And yeah, how did you end up over there? Because the new idea does flash.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's visionary. That's how it is. Yeah.
But what is good with working with Donna?
Have
What
that.
Donna can do, I can't do. And don't want to do. Honestly. When Donna can fine tune in on art, you know this. When Donna will dig in and fine tune it, and I'm not there, I'm gone, I'm leaving you. I'm going after something. Seriously.
Going after the next.
I'm not built for that. And
Yeah.
Donna will make it right. You know, I'm just doing it. Right or wrong, right, Art? Because it must be right at the end. At the end, it's not going right. It may be some hiccups here and there, but who cares? Donna, sorry to say that, but that's my approach. So what? It's the ultimate thing, right? We're going after. So, I'm very, as Donna said, very humbled. I don't know how I end up here. I always tell you that. I honestly don't know. When I've done some things with leading and growing organizations, or do you know that I've gone into places where I didn't know anyone, and within 3 months, I have like 3,000, 4,000 people following me, right? I've done that, but something like this I've never done. Those were tangible products that I did stuff like that with. Tangible. You could place your hands on it. You could say, this thing here is something totally. And I think it's a good thing. I don't want to wake up. I want to live in that dream state with this and stay in there, honestly, because I think that's where it works best, and that's where I am with it. I'm still in that dream state where ideas are still flowing, they're still coming out, ways to grow it, to build it are still happening. Once you get and you start to say, it's me, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm so grateful that I have such powerful individuals who are on board. Pastor Lexi, from day one when you didn't even know me, and I actually come and do an interview, and you I don't remember what you said, but it was yes. Straight off the bat. It's about purpose I'm in, right? I knew art, I targeted art because I know art very well. I said, this is the perfect person. I don't know if I told you that. Art is the perfect person to have this conversation because I know art. We've been friends for 20-something years doing different stuff. So I know that. Elder Joan and Donna introduced me. Donna's been wanting to introduce me to you for years. But it didn't happen for the right reason.
Right.
Yeah, Donna always said, you got to meet my cousin. You got to meet my cousin.
And she said that to me all the time.
Which cousin are you talking about, Donna? Always saying that. And then we met. We met. And then when Donna told me that you're coming to Kenya, she didn't ask me. She said, you're coming to Kenya. We're going to Kenya. Okay. I swear to God, I had no idea. Why, even during the meetings, why I was going to Kenya. And then Art, guess what? I was the only dude.
Oh.
The only guy on the trip.
No wonder he kept pushing.
There were 12 women. 12 women and one guy. 12 women.
I kept pushing Art. And I'm thinking to myself, no, sir, this is not right. Why am I here? And
yeah, he kept asking me that.
And
I'm like, you kept asking that question, like, what are we doing? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, we're just going.
I'm the most unlikely person to be going on a missionary thing. God. And then I said to myself, you know what? I can only learn something. Yeah, that's what I said. So what do I have to lose? I can only learn. So I just said, whatever, man. I can only learn. So I come to the meetings and I check them out. And the more I came to the meeting, the more it made sense to me because I'm not watching the mission. I'm watching who we're going with, and that helped, right? So yeah, it didn't make sense. Art, that was the only dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild, right? That was wild.
Well, there's always a bandwagon coming.
I tried to
People join the bandwagon a whole lot easier than they will blaze the trail.
But now it makes sense, right? At least in my life.
Yeah.
I've always been surrounded and led by strong women.
Yeah.
All my mentors.
Yeah.
Very rarely are they men.
Yeah.
Seriously. It started with my mother, of course, and you heard Raymond Thomas, who's my brother, talk about my mother, Winnie, and she was an amazing, powerful person. Never met someone like her. She's the person that I would say, let's do this. And she'd say, make it happen, son. She never said no to any ideas. See, right? She'll never say no. She'd always say, let's do it. Even if I was messing up, she'd say. So that's how I grew up with her. And then my other mentor was Dr. Ambrose. You remember her, Art?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And she's mentioned in the book, dedicated book to her.
Yeah. She was awesome.
Yeah. And so I grew up with people like that. And here I am stuck again.
Surrounded by us.
Yeah, but that's been my story.
That's a good thing. That's a wonderful thing. Yeah.
When I asked Donna and Cecelia and my cousin Grace to come up, and I said, I find myself in this situation all the time. But guess what? We get the work done. We get the work done when we work together.
Yeah.
So, we're going to end it because we're acting like it's just a chat. We're just friends getting together.
It's after 10 now, so it's after 10.
Yeah, we're going to end it. Yeah. We still have people watching interested in it. But it's just awesome stuff. It's a thing. And Art said the time is right for it. And just going to do what we got to do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's not ours, right? So we don't have a choice. We got to just do it. So I'm going to take us out with this powerful, I think we just call it the night. How about that? Great stuff. Appreciate you. You're listening out there, watching us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless. Bye, guys.
All right. Good night.